Now we're going to talk about camera work and cameras themselves. So this is the little beast that I'm going to be playing with. This is a Sony HC-9 1080i camcorder, and it's nice and compact, and it's small enough for me to have a little bit of fun with. If you'll notice right here, I'm working with a wide-angle lens adapter. Matter of fact, I'm being shot right now with the identical rig, except it's got a better microphone on it, and of course the same wide-angle lens. Now you'll see why I'm using this little onboard little fuzzy mic in a second. It may not be the best quality, but for what I'm going to be doing, it's the best thing I'm going to be playing with. Now there's a tape in this camera here, and I've attached to it a quick release plate, and that'll make sense in a moment because I need to be able to get this on and off, well, not necessarily my tripod, but I need to get this on and off my device rather quickly. The device I'm going to be using is a Glidecam HD 1000. Now, there are lots of videos on YouTube about Glidecams, and I'm thankful for every single one of them, and I hope I'm helping somebody here myself. This was a nightmare to configure until I got through a couple little options. The first one is it's really easy to balance it so that it doesn't tilt around. That's not that hard. Most people figure that one out. But if you really are going to be playing with it, I had seen a recommendation that you not use their quick release plate because it's really a slow release plate, and they're absolutely right. Instead, what I've done is I've mounted a quick release plate so that I can quickly put my camera on. See if I can do that. And like magic, my camera is back on, and I should be able to lock it back into place. So my camera is now locked into place. So there it is. So that's all good. Now you can tell if this camera has been done properly, if it's been weighted properly, because if I let it go while holding the handle, it should be pretty much level. And it's not too bad, actually. Notice, by the way, that I've decided how I want this to be level in the sense that I actually have the window open at about 45 degrees. Everyone's going to choose this to be a little differently. Some people will have it closed, have it open, but whatever you do, you have to lock it down. So I actually have to have it, make sure there's a tape in the camera. I have to make sure that my lens is on. I have to make sure that my microphone is on. Whatever it is, I'm going to balance for that. So it's all good. It's all balanced. Interestingly enough, a couple of times along the way, I put my lens cap on. And you know what, when the lens cap's on? It throws off the balance again. So don't make the mistake of balancing while you have your lens cap on. And of course, this is how I'm going to have it. Now, if I decide to change my mind, I'm going to have to reconfigure later. Now, the easy part, of course, is getting it to balance like this, so that when it's starting from rest and you lift it up, it pretty much stays straight. Of course, right now, because I'm being filmed, it's not going to be happy. Now, the hard part, of course, is figuring out how much damn weight to put on this thing, whether to spread them out, and how long to make the damn tube. This has been a problem, and I've seen a lot of people on here discuss that it needs to be done, but not really discuss to what length. The first thing I have to tell you is that if you're really trying to get away with trying to use less weights, well, guess what? It's probably not going to happen. It's a heavy device. It's heavy. Deal with it. So try your medium weights, and then you're going to realize that for some magical reason it's going to work better with more weights. I decided to go for the spread, and of course I know I have a lot of accessories here, and that makes this thing heavier. The real trick, of course, is the drop. When I drop it, it should take between 2.5 and 3 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000, there you go. This took a nightmare to do. And what I'm really trying to do is make it so that when I go like this, it doesn't start swaying all over the place. And that's, of course, the magic of the way one of these things works. Of course, I've spent the past few weeks trying to get this configured properly because it's all about getting it just right. And the real trick to just right is just when it's about to flip over, that's just when it's right. So while you can go with the 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000 thing, you also need to remember that as you're going back and forth and back and forth and right and left and right and left, if it starts penduluming back and forth, it's wrong. That's basically it. If it starts to pendulum, you don't have the right center of gravity and it's not working properly. Now, does this make it any easier to work with? No, it just makes it work. It's still going to be heavy, so you can't think that's going to go away. Now, I've got everything configured the way I'm pretty happy with, and I am pretty happy with this, but I have one more device I have to pull out and show you to make my work complete. It's kind of silly looking, and I know I look like a falconer, but this little armrest with a big old piece of metal in here, this is what's going to save me. Now, I know you're thinking, why don't I get the big vest? Why don't I get the whole contraption? Well, it's several thousands of dollars. But it's not just the money that matters here. It's also the fact that if I go out and start shooting, it looks really, really big. This isn't the end of the world, and I guess if I could be pretty mask this in a jacket somehow. By the way, a lot of people have noted on this, it's very, very loud. You can't take this off without anybody noticing or putting it out without anybody noticing. So you kind of have to deal with the fact that it's big and it's loud. But it will save your arm, and that's very, very important. I should know. I've been playing around with this, and my record right now is between, I don't know, 2 and 3 minutes. That isn't the end of the world. I'm happy with 2 to 3 minutes, but I really want to make sure that I get my arm in good working shape. And if anybody has any arm exercises to make sure that this exact muscles work perfectly, we should actually get together on this. So, with that being said, I can slide this into here, and from a beautiful, not moving position, I let go, and everything looks happy. Does that look happy? Now, of course, everyone demos like this, but you know there's a second hand in here. And I think this arm is doing just as much work as this arm. This arm may be carrying all the weight, but this arm is doing all the directing. This arm is the one that I've got to make sure that I really have it steady to go out and take a look at the world. And we're going to do that right now. Right, we're standing outside. You know I'm just going to overdub this.